Now we are going to look into the IND application itself. Several files must be done, must be prepared. And here we are going to now look into what are the documents, or going over a few documents that we have to prepare for the IND application. So here I am showing you just a document which is about the IND application for a drug. This is again based on the okay, this is based on the I just opened that, sorry for this. Okay, I can open that here. Okay, perfect. It is based on the requirements, okay, and this is based on the also public information, so there's nothing which is confidential in this presentation. So now here, this is an IND investigational new drug application, and of course this is these are the forms that we have to prepare: 1571, 3674, etc. They have to be added separately, and again, don't forget that we add all of this information into the CTD backbone. And then we do have, let me just go it with the, okay, table of content. So in the table of content, this is this, oh, okay, I have to change that, it's okay. But anyways, this is the table of content. So we add the forms, then we are going to add the name of the drug, pharmacological class of the drug, structure and formula of the drug. So this is a table of contents for your IND application that you put in module 1 of your IND application. Okay, so we talk about, we give an introduction, we give the name of the drug and all active ingredients. We also have a section for pharmacological class of the drug. Then we do have, again here, the chemical molecule structure of the drug. We go over the formulation and dosage form. We go over the route of administration. So overall, this is a document that we have to prepare, which is our IND application, and we add it into module 1 of our, investigational new drug application that we are going to send to FDA based on FDA requirements for the structure of module 1. Okay, so now I'm going to now go over different types of documents. Let me just go over, I will say, okay, IND application for the chemistry and manufacturing and control. This template is coming from FDA website. So we have to go to FDA website, download this template, and then to complete this template before converting that into PDF, and then to add it into module 3, which is about, again, module 3, which is for the quality of the product. And so here we prepare a CMC document, or chemistry, manufacturing and control. I just want to remind you that we also have another document in module 2, which is called QoS, or quality overall summary. And the quality overall summary is, I would say, a shorter version of the chemistry, manufacturing and control, or CMC document. So what goes into the CMC document? So here, as you see, we talk about the, we give introduction, of course, we talk about the potential human risk, the chemistry and manufacturing, preclinical versus clinical studies. Then we go over the investigation on new drug substance. You may have a substance, but you may have a product. It means that a substance is just a molecule or a few, and then the product is the substance plus excipients. So we will need to give information not only about the substance itself, but also about the product itself. And as you see now, a substance is different from the final product, because a final product has different excipients as well. So here we can also give, again, the investigational, I would say, a drug substance. We talk about the method of preparation of the investigational new drug substance, and then we are going to talk about the acceptable limits and analytical methods. And again, I will not go too far into this document, but again, I just wanted to go over the chemistry, manufacturing and control document that we, again, in the regulatory affairs field, we will need to I would say prepare, or we can also get it from different sources like research and development. But again, it's not just research and development, it's also quality control and departments. And again, this is again part of the job that a regulatory affairs associate or professional is doing, which is to compile these documents and then to prepare the chemistry, manufacturing, and control document. Now I'm going to show you the form 1571. Okay, this is for again just a drug. This is again the one for investigational new drug application. As you know, this goes again in module 1 of the CTD backbone required by FDA in module 1. So again, we just complete this form, and now you may have several, again, need several of these forms to be filled out. So here we have to add, and of course make sure that you have all of the content in the form. So we have to check all of these and make sure that we add the study protocol. We add here the investigator's data. We are going to write the facilities data. Okay, so these are all the forms 1571s, 1572. These forms are already in FDA website. So for these forms, you have to go to FDA website and then to upload these forms and then to complete them before adding them into your again IND application in CTD backbone. And then, of course, you continue to give information about again the study, and then we have to sign. We sign and save this document before adding this into the relevant sub-module in module 1. Then we also have, again, just for looking into the form 1572, this is the statement of the investigator, and you may have several investigators as well. So you will need to ask them all to complete this form, and then you are going to, again, review the form. It must be signed, and then the PDF format is going to be added into module 1 of the IND in CTD backbone required by FDA. You also have the form 3674, okay, which is about the certificate of compliance. So we have to again give the certification or certify that again we are in compliance with regulations dealing with sponsor, applicant, and submitter information. So again, these are all simple forms, but you see we use this for IND, for new drug application, for abbreviated new drug application, for biological licensing application, also for medical devices, okay, 510 PMA, etc. And again, this is related to conducting clinical research. So as you see, we do the conduct clinical research for IND, for NDA, ANDA as well, for BLA, for medical devices as well. And then when you are going to do the certification, you are now going to, of course, complete this on behalf of the company for which you are working, because you are representing that company, and then you sign this document, save it in PDF. It's already in PDF, of course, and then you are going to add this document into module 1 in the CTD backbone of the IND application. And again, the CTD backbone for module 1, as we already saw that together, is on FDA website. Then you also need, of course, to have a cover letter, IND cover letter. So this cover letter, again, is written based on the FDA, I would say, requirements. So we have to write it down this way. This is a format. Then for IND application, I already showed you. Now I'm going to show you, again, another document for the pharmacology and toxicology. As I already mentioned, these templates are also on the FDA website, and not for all of the subsections or submodules in IND application in CTD format, but for a few of those, we have these templates and the forms that are already in FDA website. So the job of a regulatory affairs professional is not only to go and find all of these up to date, of course, or updated documentation or forms from FDA website, but also to bring them in-house and then to look into how to compile and again, I would say a submission package. Now today we are looking into IND, but for a BLA, for a PMA, for again 510K, for ANDA, for example. And this is again a job of the regulatory affairs professional. So here we're going to use the FDA template for the IND, and of course we are just going to follow again, the template. There are so many different explanations, clear explanations as well. And when you are done with this, you have to I would say convert that into PDF, and then to put the PDF file of the clinical study, for example, protocol, in the relevant subfolder or submodule in the IND CTD backbone. You can also look into another example, which is the preclinical study of this drug. This is a tabulated summary that I already talked about. So here, this summary can be written by a medical writer, by, again, even in clinical research department, they can also write it down. If not, this is going to be the job of someone in regulatory affairs department as well. And this is why we have regulatory writers, where we look into publications or already studies that are already done, and then we are going to write the tabulated summary this way. And you also remember that we need to have a written summary in addition to a tabulated summary. So usually we have this type of format, but it's a summary in a table, and we also have a written type of written report or summary for now for the pharmacology, pharmacodynamics, for the safety, for marketing as well. So there are so many different tabulated summaries that we have to provide with to FDA. Now here we're going to look into the protocol, because when you're going to apply for an IND, this is to apply for having the authorization to use a clinical trial protocol in order to test your drug for its efficacy and safety. This is obvious. So here I'm just showing you one, which is clinicaltrials.gov. Obviously this is the outline. If we are asking you to add, and we ask you to add the entire protocol file, this is not the one here. Usually those protocol files are confidential. This is why I'm not showing you here. But for the outline, you can always go to clinicaltrials.gov and then look into again, the outline of the study, where we can have a study detail, we can have a tabular view, we can have, again, results if they are posted. Here they are not posted. And then we can now have information about the study type, participants, when they start, the start date, end date, and of course, different arms that we may have. We may look into the interventions, okay, the doses, what you are looking at, the outcome measures. Then we can go over the eligibility criteria, and then of course we can look into the genders, if there's any volunteers, and then to look into the inclusion criteria, so which patients must be or can be in the study, and the exclusion criteria, where we are going to write down, of course, in the protocol that these type of patients with these diseases, for example, these characteristics, they cannot participate based on, of course, a scientifically sound reason and our strategy to write a clinical trial protocol. And then, of course, in the outline, we also have contacts. So in the contacts, of course, we have to write down investigators. These investigators also completed the Form 1572. We may have several investigators as well. And this is, again, I would say, an example of the outline for a study. Now, going over the tabulated summary of the studies, again, this is what we have to add as well in Module 1, in Module 5 as well. This is for clinical studies. Again, here, who writes this document? A clinical, a regulatory affairs writer. Maybe clinical research can also give you this table, but in any case, a regulatory affairs professional is going to receive several types of documents, different formats, different templates, and we need to not only look into the science, into the way that the information is presented, but also looking into the templates, making sure that we are following or using the templates that are required by FDA, all of the forms that are required by FDA. So this is the job of the regulatory affairs professional, to prepare, to compile applications like the IND application, for the sake of our lecture today, and then to be able to look into the fact that we are in full compliance, so we are meeting the requirements of FDA. And of course, the last document I'm going to show you today is the label. So here, usually, we may not have a label in IND application, because the drug is, so again, majority of cases, the drug is already not in the market, so we have an investigator's brochure. An investigator's brochure is very similar to a label, but it's a longer version of a product label, where we are talking about, again, the product itself. Don't forget that if you see this type of format, this is because this is coming from FDA template or requirements. We have a guidance document where we are asked to write a product label in this format. We also have another template for writing the product, the investigator's brochure, which is in another format. And usually, if your product is not on the market, you don't have a product label. You have an investigator's brochure that then it will be used in order to write the product label. Now, just last thing before I let you go, because I think that I covered everything and you already have enough to reflect on, and of course lots of information about the documents, some documents in IND application, is that in the US we have an investigator's brochure that becomes a product label. And this is what I'm showing you here. In Canada, we have an investigator's brochure, but it becomes product monograph. So the product label in the US is equivalent to the product monograph in Canada, and it's equivalent to the summary of product characteristics in Europe. Now, are they identical? No, because we are using different templates. So you will not have the same template for, again, a product label in the US, a product monograph in Canada, or a summary of product characteristics, or SMPC, in, again, European Union. However, the information is somehow similar but not identical. The disposition of the information, it may not be the same. Okay, and just to let you know that, again, all of these documents, label, summary of product characteristics, or monograph in Canada, they're all coming from the investigator's brochure, and this is also one of the documents that goes into your module 1 of your IND application. So I would like to thank you again so much for your attendance. I hope that you enjoyed, again, this presentation that was on the IND documentation. So thank you very much again.